Congratulations! You will meet the Grandmaster in 5 seconds. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. You are now meeting the Grandmaster.
What's up and what's going on, everyone? I appreciate everybody coming in and checking out this video. It is a somewhat slow news day, but we do have some things to get into. And one of the things I really wanted to get into was some of the changes that are going to happen at the end of this season with X-Men97. Now, I'm sure like all of you, like myself, all of you are also really enjoying X-Men97. And I heard somebody say today, and I completely agree with this, if you are hating on X-Men97, you are not fun. You don't like cool things. You don't like good things. Because X-Men97 is a chef's kiss to Marvel. Bravo to Marvel. Bravo to Bo DeMeo. Bravo to that writer's room. Bravo to everyone involved with X-Men97. Because X-Men97 is some of Marvel's best work since Endgame. And that's just strictly my opinion. But so far, these first 3 episodes have been great. It has really felt like we just picked up where we left off. If you were a 90s kid like myself and you grew up in the 90s watching X-Men97 on Saturday mornings, it was that and the 90s Spider-Man series were some of my first introductions into the Marvel universe as a child. And so just watching X-Men97 and being actually excited, you know, week to week, episode to episode, I haven't felt like this since Loki, and I've talked about this before, since Loki or WandaVision. So it's been a really good feeling to anticipate, wanting to see what's going to happen next. And the whole storyline, I mean, if you know the comic storyline with Forge and Storm, when Storm loses her powers, that is actually, you know, in the comics. It's something that a story that is a great storyline, and I can't wait to see how they take it. I hope they don't stray too far from it, the storyline, but I really hope that they stay kind of true to how it happens in the comics as well. Great storyline. I know some people like to make the argument that Forge and Storm's relationship was deeper than T'Challa and Storm's, and I digress on that. I disagree, but I digress. But I really am excited for what Marvel is doing with X-Men97. It makes me hopeful and excited for what they're going to do in the live action standpoint of X-Men when they join the MCU. So I'm pretty excited. But this is what Fandom Wire had to say about some of the changes that are going to be made with the X-Men. They're going to reportedly making major changes to the mutants at the end of the season, but that's not making fans too happy. And the changes are that we've heard, and this is coming from Can We Get Some Toast, a credible scooper out there, along with My Time to Shine Hello, Daniel Richmond, and all the others. Can We Get Some Toast had put out that at the end of this season, the X-Men are going to get new costumes, new suits. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see the new suits that they're going to get. But this is what Fandom Wire had to say about it. The new X-Men97 series brought back the beloved X-Men animated characters from the 90s show, including the voice cast, and continued the story of where the team left without its leader, Charles Xavier. The series has received positive reviews from fans and critics, becoming one of the highest rated MCU shows. I mean, like I said, incredible. It really is good. I cannot wait for tomorrow night's episode. It really is a really good show. Hold on.
What I'm trying to say is, we need your help!
So tell a friend. Get notified and subscribe now. Now back to the video. Really good show. It goes on to say the series has so far dropped 3 episodes, and the remaining 7 episodes are airing weekly on Disney+. Recently, a new update about the show was reported by a scooper regarding the evolution of the team's costumes. While this is some exciting news, some fans are concerned with one aspect costume change with Cyclops that they fear might translate into the show. Fans are apprehensive about X-Men97's reported costume changes for the team. After 2 seasons of I Am Groot and What If, Marvel Studios Animation is currently airing episodes of its revival series X-Men97, and fans are loving the updated look and continued brilliance of the narrative set by the 90s show. A new report suggests that the team will have new costumes by the end of the show. Although this sounds like an exciting prospect, many fans are bringing up the possibility that the series might adopt the underwhelming costume design of Cyclops from the Jonathan Hickman era. Yes, the Jonathan Hickman era, the condom era, with his House of X costume issue. While they love Cyclops, while they love the Cyclops arc in the storyline, him leading the X-Men to prevent the creation of the ultimate mutant killer. And then it goes on to say the updated look for Cyclops in the comics was not liked by many fans, including a mask that covered the top of his head. And then it goes on to say, in addition, there are concerns about Cyclops. Others stated that it was unnecessary to give the entire team a complete makeover. Here are some of their reactions on Twitter. And this is what some people were saying on Twitter. This guy says, as long as Scott doesn't have that head condom, and for people not really familiar with exactly what he's talking about, if you weren't a reader of the comics, because not everybody was, so we can't assume that everybody was a reader of the comics. But if you weren't a reader of the comics, this is exactly the one they are talking about here. People do not want this costume. They don't want to see this Scott, and it's the head. It's kind of cut off here. See if I can pull him down. It's the head piece here. No, that's the part that's bothering a lot of people. A lot of people said that this always kind of looks like a condom. So that is the piece the costume that people aren't wanting Scott to adapt in the series. And then it goes on. Some other people are saying, some guy said no. Somebody said no one wants this. Do they? Somebody said, why the MCU are always changing classic suits? What's wrong with them? I agree. I really like the classic suits as well. Someone else said no, thank you. But then Fandom Wire goes on to say the MCU has a habit of changing costume designs of characters that have not always landed well with fans. While there is no confirmation of this reported costume change happening, fans are already worried that they might ruin the integrity of the team with the underwhelming makeover. It remains to be seen if this turns out to be true. So we will see what goes on. Let's see. Executive producer of X-Men97 is excited about the future of the MCU. Yeah, we can. No, yeah, but that, and then some people were saying the X face. He might have the X face costume, or the X head costume. I prefer the X head costume over the condom costume, but. Either way, it's more than likely going to be the Hickman era when he was leading the team, since he is currently, Magneto, I guess, is currently leading the team, but he is, a leader of the team as well. So I don't know. We'll have to wait to see if this is even a true, statement. But I just wanted to share that bit of news with you guys, and again, share how hyped I am for X-Men97. I think it's a great show. I again cannot wait for tomorrow night's episode, and I'm actually going to be filming my reaction to tomorrow night's episode, and I'll be posting that. I told you, if the show is actually good, I'm going to start doing reactions again, and this is something I actually can react to, because I'm not just going to be sitting there like I was during some of those past reactions. So, but you guys, let me know what you guys are thinking about all these reported changes going on with the costumes and things like that. Or do you want the costumes to be changed? Do you not mind if the costumes are changed at all? Or do you really like the classic look, and you want to keep that 90s classic look that they've got going on currently? And then also with Scott's look, what are you thinking about with Scott's look? Are you thinking they're going to go X-head, or are you thinking they're going to go condom? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. One of my most anticipated films this year is Planet of the Apes, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I cannot wait for this film. I've talked about it quite a bit. We talked about it a while ago when it first was announced, a long time ago. I was excited that Wes Ball, who directed the Maze Runner series, and how he was going to come in and craft things, some of the things, the early drafts that he had going on. I'm a really big Planet of the Apes fan. I'm a fan of Mark Wahlberg's. I'm a fan of the newer trilogy. I'm also a fan of course, the old series. I've said so many times where I want the Planet of the Apes films to get to. I want us to get to that part where Mark Wahlberg was at the end of his film, where when he thought he was coming back to his era, but he had come back to a completely different time, completely different space, where when his ship crash landed at the Lincoln Memorial, it was not Abraham Lincoln, it was an ape sitting there, and then all these cops pulled up, and it was apes getting out with guns, and that's where we left off with Mark Wahlberg's film. That is where I want to see it progress. Obviously, we do see see that in the older series, as we see where the apes are living in homes and they have jobs and they're doing interviews and things like that, and the humans are the pets at zoos and things like that. But I want to see that now, put in with current VFX effects and things like that. I would love to see that this story progressed to there. And I know that where we currently are with this story, the apes obviously are well more advanced than where we last saw Caesar and his clan and things like that. They've got different tribes, they've got villages. And one thing that we learned from watching the new clip that dropped today from 20th Century Fox was that looks like Caesar's son was a part of a village that was taken by another village. So it seems like there's different sets of them. So maybe we are currently building to that utopia where they're going to be. It's really is the planet of the apes, where they are really running things and the humans are, because at this point they are hunting humans. But again, it is not they don't have cities and things like that, and they're not driving. They're still on horses and things. So those are the things that I'm wanting to see. But we're going to watch the clip that was dropped, the exclusive clip that was dropped today. I did, while watching this clip, because I did already watch it, but while watching the clip earlier today, I thought to myself, man, this is a very big scene in the trailer. Because in the trailer, in this clip, it's the scene that's in the trailer where she's running toward Caesar's grandson. I called him his son earlier. I think grandson or whatever he is to Caesar. And the gorilla is chasing after her, and in the trailer they cut that part off, but they actually show the whole thing here. I think one of the things movies have got to slow down on is showing so much of the movie in these trailers, or in clips, and dropping these clips. But I do want to watch this clip, and then again, this film does come out May 10th. I'll be seeing it then and give my report on what I think. But let's watch this clip and get into it.
Spread out. Lightning. This way. Find her.
Yeah, this is going to be a very good movie.
I know. See, here. Raka! Nova! Come out! I smell you! Raka!
Yeah, bro, this is a very tense scene. Dropping just a clip like this.
There was a time when humans and apes lived side by side. But it ceases to exist.
Apes hunt humans. That is the law. But the law is wrong.
You chose humans over apes. Together, you will die.
He stole my village. I will find them. I will bring them home. We will save them together.
theaters May 10th. Tickets on sale now.
Yeah, no, this looks great. It looks great. I really cannot wait to see this movie. This is one I'm of course seeing in IMAX. It does look fantastic. I can't wait to see where it progresses. That's my biggest thing. I cannot wait to see where this goes. Obviously, we found out in our last time we had covered Planet of the Apes here, we talked about Nova and her importance in the film and how I guess she's one of the more smarter humans in the bunch. But I'm wanting to know from what point to what point, because this is what 600 years or so after, if I remember correctly, this is 600 years or so after the last time we saw Caesar. So I'm wanting to know at what point, from what point did the human population decline, and how, when you say she's one of the smarter humans of them, I mean, I get it. I remember the older series as the humans were more like the Neanderthals than anything. So, it's just interesting. I really love the Planet of the Apes franchise. Any type of time that there's a Planet of the Apes film, I'm always going to go watch it. I don't think there has been one except, and I always say this, in the trilogy, The War for the Planet of the Apes, I do not like that film. It was inaccurately named. It should not have been War for the Planet of the Apes. We were all fooled. There were scenes in the trailers that were not in the movie, and so it just is. It was more like the enslavement of the Planet of the Apes. They were slaves the entire film. I just did not care for that movie. But this one does look like a major step up from where we last left off. So I'm excited for it. But as always, questions for you. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. How excited are you for the Planet of the Apes, if excited at all? Did you watch the original series? Did you watch Mark Wahlberg? Or were you just a fan of this most recent trilogy? Let me know all those thoughts down below and what you guys are thinking. See you in the next video. Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis are coming back for Freaky Friday 2, and again, as a kid, this was a fun movie for me. I really enjoyed the the first Freaky Friday with the two of them, especially obviously when they switched places. The relationship that Lindsay Lohan's character already had with the little brother, then switching to the mom's body being Jamie, it was really, I really loved the movie. It's a really fun movie. There's obviously lessons to be learned in the film and things like that, but Freaky Friday 2 is on the horizon with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis coming back to reprise their roles. And we have kind of gotten some plot details revealed here. Also, within those plot details that got revealed, I don't know if it's within this article, but it did get mentioned on Twitter and a few other places that they are currently casting for Lindsay Lohan's character's daughter, 13-year-old daughter. So they're currently casting worldwide for anybody that wants to go into audition for that. They are casting a 13-year-old girl to come in and play her daughter. They gave details of what the character is going to be like. Again, I don't know if that's in this article, but it is out there floating around in the ether. So they are currently, that is some of the things that are on the horizon with this as well. But this is coming from CBR, and they had this to say: the plot of Disney's sequel Freaky Friday 2 might have been revealed. Possible plot details for the upcoming sequel to the 2003 adaptation of the Freaky Friday suggest a big twist for the story. Character details were divulged by the film's director, Nisha Ganatra, who shared on her Instagram stories an open casting call for the role of Harper, the 14-year-old of Lindsay Lohan's Anna. The casting call described Harper as a tomboy with a sharp sense of humor and in a bit of a mood these days because her longtime single mom is set to marry British restaurateur Eric Davis. The Eric character is also said to have his own 14-year-old daughter, Lily, who doesn't see eye to eye with Harper. It's further stated that Harper would like to see things go her way and use her intelligence to stop the marriage from ever happening, and she should be grounded, emotional, and as natural as possible. So just judging from that, I'm assuming the daughters are probably going to switch places, and then, make it see things from each other's perspectives, and then realize, I'm assuming because it is a Disney film, realize that, oh, our parents should be together and they really do love each other, and I love you because you're my sister, and Disney. So that's probably where it's going to be like. Then it goes on to say, per Entertainment Weekly, the audition sides, which included 8 pages from the script, shed more light on the plot. The pages were described as body swap scenes, noting that Harper should channel Anna, Lindsay Lohan, and Lily could channel Tessa. Okay, so they are switching places. Maybe that was known. Maybe I just dawned on. Maybe that was known. Jamie Lee Curtis. This suggests that Lohan and Curtis characters will swap bodies with the 14-year-old girls. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Okay. plot twist. With both of them experiencing becoming teenagers again. One scene describes Anna and Tess in their teenage bodies participating in a beach cleanup due to a school punishment, while another scene sees the two sipping apple juice from wine glasses as Anna speaks about losing touch with her teenage self. Sounds fun. This goes on to say these plot details are subject to change. Notable, these plot details have been confirmed by Disney, or haven't been confirmed by Disney. It's also possible that these scenes are not from the final version of the script and may not be what happens exactly in the upcoming film. Reportedly, Curtis and Lohan are in talks to return, but haven't officially signed on. Though it's more than likely that they will, as both have been teasing Freaky Friday sequel in recent weeks. Both have also been open about their hopes in making a sequel for several years. Through serious talks only began those serious talks only began recently, perhaps due to Lohan having since made an acting comeback, with Curtis winning her first Academy Award. That should have gone to Angela Bassett. But yes, that again was great. I think that I love the first Freaky Friday film. I've never seen, I think there's an original. I've never seen the original Freaky Friday, but Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis's Freaky Friday is great. And I was going to mention that as well. This is Lohan again making such a tremendous comeback in Hollywood right now. She's doing great. She looks good. She's doing good. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis is just the monster that Jamie Lee Curtis is when it comes to Hollywood. So I adore both of them. I really love Lindsay. I grew up on The Parent Trap and Get a Clue and some of those other things with Lindsay. So I really like Lindsay Lohan. I think that she is. It's good to see her back. So, but I can't wait for this. It seems like this is going to be a pretty good film. But as always, let me know what you guys are thinking. Are you a fan of the original Freaky Friday? If you haven't seen the original Freaky Friday, I do suggest you go and watch that. It's a good movie. And if you were a fan, are you anticipating this film? And do you like the plot details that have kind of leaked there? I do that's going to be interesting. That I think that's going to make for good comedic humor too, especially with Jamie Lee Curtis and knowing how she is. So them switching places, being with the teenage girls being them at that point, and then them having to see it from everybody's point of view. But let me know what you guys are thinking down below in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. There's been a lot of talk surrounding Sam Raimi and if the possibilities of him returning to direct a Spider-Man 4 film with Tobey Maguire. A lot of people are really wanting that film. I, for one, would really love to see that film. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 wasn't the best, but that wasn't the fault of Sam Raimi's. If anybody knows, there was a lot of what he wanted, but there was a lot of also what Sony wanted. And as we all know from recent things, and with Sony is always going to Sony, and they think that they know this IP so well, so they will do what Sony typically does. So that was a Sony mess up there with Spider-Man 3, but Spider-Man 4, given letting Sam Raimi have the freedom to do what he wants to do and the story that he wants to tell, and having Tobey back and potentially having others back, that would be a billion-dollar film. Easily would be a billion-dollar film. Anytime Spider-Man is handled correctly, it is going to make money, and that is that. You bring Tobey Maguire back with Sam Raimi and the fans that are just wanting it. Again, that's a billion-dollar film. But we've heard a lot about swirling in the rumors about it potentially being a real thing that we could see. A little over a month ago, we had Sam Raimi, who was quoted saying that there is a chance that Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire could happen because he still wants to make the film and shares the same desires that fans share. There was also a video of that came out from, I believe this is comicbook.com, that did a interview with Thomas Hayden Church, who plays Sandman and in the Spider-Man 2, and also he didn't reprise his role. I believe those were recycled video clips from Spider-Man 2. A lot of that was used in No Way Home, but he sat down with comicbook.com, and I don't think they were specifically talking about Spider-Man 4, but it did get brought up, and this is what he had to say in regards to that.
Sandman, there's been some rumors that they might ask me to do another Spider-Man, and I'd do it tomorrow.
I hope so, man. Or maybe Secret Wars, or having you pop up anywhere would be awesome.
They've never asked me to show up in another movie, another Marvel film, but I think Sam is going to do another Spider-Man with Tobey, and that's the one that I was actually they had an option for me to do Spider-Man 4 when there was going to be a Spider-Man 4. They had an option on me to come back. So if it happens, that would be fantastic.
That's awesome.
I'm getting a little old.
No, you look great, man. Don't tell yourself. You're doing whatever you're doing. Keep doing it.
Yeah, so and he did say that, and this is not new news. This is something that was talked about a while ago. I'm just bringing it up because these are some of the things that were some of the people that have discussed the rumors and where some of these rumors are coming from, actually. So that's what Thomas Hayden Christian had to say. Or Thomas Hayden Church, sorry. What Thomas Hayden Church had to say about the potential of there being a Spider-Man 4 and Sam Raimi coming back to do that with Tobey. But more recently, Sam Raimi sat down and had this to say. I believe he was speaking with comicbook.com again. And when speaking with comicbook.com, he was asked if there was going to be a possibilities of him doing a Spider-Man 4. And this is what he had to say.
Sam, our audience would probably call for my head if I didn't take this opportunity to ask you something, which is about these rumors floating around that you possibly might be starting on a fourth Spider-Man. Can you say anything about that?
Well, I haven't heard about that yet. I did read that, but I'm not actually working on it yet. I mean, Marvel and Columbia are so successful with their current Spider-Man and the track they're on. I don't know that they're going to go back to me and say, wait, folks, we could also tell that story. Yeah. I'm not sure, but I love all the new Spider-Man movies. I loved Spider-Man No Way Home. It was really super powerful. It's great seeing Tobey again in it.
Yeah, I mean, Tobey obviously came back into the fold. Have you guys talked about it? Do you know if he would be game to come back for a fourth spin?
I haven't talked with Tobey about it, but maybe Marvel has or Columbia Pictures, but I just worked with Marvel on a movie called Doctor Strange, yes. The Multiverse of Madness, so I'm on great terms with them. I'm sure I would hear about it if it was in the works, but I think so. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah. So don't believe everything you read on the internet. Is the summary of this conversation.
We also have to remember Sam's been in the business for a very long time. He knows how to play an interview. He knows how to maneuver around a question. So if there was a Spider-Man 4 in the works, it's not something I'm sure he can even discuss right now or anything like that. So of course he's not going to come out and say, oh yeah, well, I've discussed it with Tobey, I've discussed it with Marvel, and we're getting ready to shoot it next week. So that's not going to happen. He's not going to come out and say anything like that. But I do strongly believe that, because Sony, we have to remember this is not Marvel that owns Spider-Man. This is Sony that owns Spider-Man. And with all the behind the scenes drama that's been going on between Sony and Marvel, or that was going on between Sony and Marvel, and I still believe may currently still be going on, not as heavy as it was weeks ago, but them wanting to make Spider-Man 4, the MCU movie Spider-Man 4, a multiversal film, to where Marvel wanted it to be a more grounded film, to where Sony wanted Tobey and Andrew back, to where Marvel was like, no, that's not what the move to make. But at the end of the day, Sony does own Spider-Man, and at the end of the day, it has to be an agreement. Negotiations have to be made and things like that. But Sony does have the final say. So if Sony, I do strongly believe that this is something that Sony wants to do, just knowing that they want to already put Tobey and Andrew right back in another Spider-Man film after we had just seen them in No Way Home. I was against that. I was one that said I did not want to see that. To me, it would take away seeing them if they are in Avengers 5, but more so in Secret Wars. I think, that's where I really wanted to see them again. But if we do see them in Spider-Man 4, it is because Sony has the final say. And knowing that they want that to happen, I do strongly believe that they are talking about, or have talked about, or currently talking about having a Spider-Man 4 film with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire. That is something, because Spider-Man makes money, and they know that. That is why they want Tobey and Andrew in Spider-Man 4. They saw how massively successful No Way Home was. I mean, No Way Home was so successful that after they took it out of theaters on, what was it, $3 weekend or whatever, they put it back in theaters, and I think it made a lot of money just in that one weekend that they put it back. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but it was a lot of money. And it, that just goes to show you that when Spider-Man is done correctly, obviously everyone's a Spider-Man fan. Spider-Man is up there with your Batmans and your Supermans. Everyone is a Spider-Man fan. So when Spider-Man is done correctly, people are going to come and show out and throw all the money at you. So I do believe that Spider-Man 4 is heavy on Sony's minds. I do believe they discussed it with Sam, or maybe not, in nuanced discussion, but they definitely, hey, let's keep this on our minds and talk about this later on down the line. But I think it's something that there is in development, and I think as time goes on, we're going to continue to hear more and more and more rumors about it. And maybe knowing Sony, hell, they might try to be, drop it and be like, let's just drop the news about it and say it's coming. But question is for you guys. Let me know down below what you guys are thinking. Do you think that we are going to see a Spider-Man 4? Do you think that this is something that is on Sony's minds? Do you think they've had the conversations with Tobey and Sam, or do you think that or better question, are you even excited for Spider-Man 4? Is that something that you would want to see? Would you want to see Tobey come back and reprise that role and tell a whole nother story at a completely different time than the last time we saw that version of Peter Parker? Something else that I will mention before I close is that Alex Perez over the Cosmic Circus did mention on Twitter when he was asked about the Spider-Man 4 film with Sam Raimi. He was also asked about the Spider-Man 3 film with Andrew Garfield, to where he replied that Sony has no plans and doesn't want to make a Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield. And being my favorite Spider-Man, I really hate that, but I don't want to say I don't have to have that film, because I really would love to have that film. We got that tease in No Way Home when he said, he went down a dark path. I got bitter. I got angry. We saw not the glimpses of getting bitter and angry, but he was down a dark path where we last left him in Spider-Man 2. Even though he came back and defended the city at the end of the film, he still wasn't back in that mindset of being Spider-Man. He was still dealing with the loss of Gwen and dealing with so many different emotions within him. I would love to see him go down that dark path. I would love to see that film of something like that with Spider-Man. And then obviously, he is Spider-Man, and it's not always going to be, it never really is, a happy ending. So, but we have seen the deleted scenes where Mary Jane was supposed to be in, I think it was Spider-Man 2. So, you could bring Mary Jane in, or somebody else, or Felicia Hardy or something like that. But I do believe that I would love to see an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man 3. But either way, anything Spider-Man, if done correctly by Sony and Marvel, I would love to see. But again, questions for you, let me know down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see all of you guys in the next video.